Hi everybody, welcome to episode number 15 about the Yocto Project and OpenEmbedded on a Raspberry Pi 5. Let me remind you that in episode 13 I showed you how to build and boot core-image-weston on Raspberry Pi 5 and this Raspberry Pi Touch Display 2. This is the 7-inch version of the display. In episode number 14, we explored the Qt framework, and today, in episode number 15, we are following up with the topic about graphical user interfaces using the Qt framework, however, this time with the Python programming language. I'll be using again the layer MetaQt 6, but this time I'm going to include PyQt 6. I'm absolutely sure most of my viewers are very well familiar with the technology stack. However, this video is part of a course, so I want to keep it consistent and I want to do a quick introduction about the different things that we'll be using here. Yocto is a collaborative project at the Linux Foundation that uses the OpenEmbedded build framework. On the other hand, Qt is a cross-platform application development framework written in the C++ programming language. It also has a declarative language called QML. The main benefit of the Qt framework is that it allows you to build your own graphical user interfaces that can run on different operating systems, such as Microsoft Windows, macOS, and of course Linux distributions, including custom Linux distributions that you can build with the Yocto Project and OpenEmbedded. Although the primary programming language for Qt is C++, there are various different bindings that allow you to use the Qt framework from different programming languages. And today we're going to use PyQt, which is the language binding for Python. However, I have to clarify, it is not the only Python binding. Actually, there are two very popular Python bindings for the Qt framework. The first one is PySide. This is the official one. Therefore, it is developed by the Qt group. The other one is PyQt, which is developed and maintained by Riverbank Computing. Historically, many years ago, in 2009, Nokia, the then owners of Qt, tried to buy PyQt, but they didn't reach an agreement with Riverbank Computing. Therefore, in August 2009, Nokia released PySide. Side is the Finnish word for a binding. But in this video, we'll be using the alternative PyQt. Let me know in the comments below which Python binding for Qt do you prefer and use. I'll be using the same computer and build environment that you know from my previous videos from this course. In it, I already have all required layers, including MetaQt 6. For this demonstration, I'm using version 6.8. Although, as you can see in the video, I run the git pull command to ensure that the layers are up to date. Instead of doing this manually, I highly recommend you to integrate a solution such as CAS or the proposed new incoming bitbake setup. These are topics that I have in mind to cover in next episodes. After that, I initialized the build environment with the source command and I opened conf/local.conf using the Vim text editor. The recipe for PyQt 6 is Python 3-PyQt 6, so I added it to my image using the image install variable and the append syntax. I saved the changes and after that I run bitbake. I want to build core-image-weston. This is an image that features the Wayland display protocol and the reference Wayland compositor called Weston. You're already familiar with this from my previous videos about the Yocto Project and OpenEmbedded on Raspberry Pi 5. My whole setup and build is based on the Yocto long-term support release ScarpGraph from April 2024, which is supposed to be maintained for 4 years until April 2028. In the meantime, the next long-term support release of the Yocto project, Rhinos, will be available in a few weeks in April 2026. I rebuilt core-image-weston this time with PyQt 6, so let's flash it on a micro SD card and boot it on this Raspberry Pi 5 with the 7-inch touch display 2. You know the drill from my previous video, so I won't go into too much details. I flashed the image
on a micro SD card using BMap tool. Alternatively, you can do it with DD, or if you prefer graphical user interfaces, you can do it with Balena Etcher. I plugged the micro SD card into the Raspberry Pi 5. I've also attached a keyboard because we're gonna need it for the demonstration. And finally, I just plugged the official Raspberry Pi power supply to turn on the board with the display. In a few seconds, our custom Linux distribution built with the Yocto Project and OpenEmbedded booted, and Weston appeared on the Raspberry Pi 7-inch touch display too. Now let's try out PyQt 6 and create a Hello World application at runtime.
I also connected a keyboard because I want to open the terminal on Weston, the reference compositor of Wayland, and create a very simple Hello World application using QML and Python through PyQt 6.
This is a very simple, clean and minimal example that demonstrates how to use the declarative language of the Qt framework, QML, to define a graphical user interface and to integrate it with Python 3 through the PyQt 6 language binding that we are using in this demonstration and that I've included in our core-image-weston. There are two separate files, main.qml and main.py. It took me a while to type them in, however with the magic of video editing I'm gonna fast forward, and for your convenience the exact source code is available as part of the description of the video. The Python source code in the file main.py initializes QGUI application that creates a QQML application engine and loads the content from main.qml. This follows the standard pattern for a QML-based PyQt applications. QML is this declarative language of the Qt framework for creating the graphical user interface. In this case, our main QML file is super simple. It just displays the text label Hello World on the screen. Back in the Python source code in main.py, we have a connection engine.quit connect app.quit, which ensures that the application will exit properly when the QML engine signals a quit event. Once again, I repeat that the source code that you are seeing here in the video is also available as part of the description, so you can go into all details or just do copy and paste if you want to reproduce the same example that I'm doing here. Finally, after saving both main.py and main.qml, I typed in the Python 3 command followed by the name of the file main.py. This launched our Hello World application and of course triggered PyQt 6 because it's imported on the very first lines of main.py. As you can see, I had this awkward moment with the window. I have to admit that Weston out of the box is not optimized for touchscreen displays. Anyway, let's fast forward, and here we have our Hello World application written with PyQt 6, a QML file, and of course the programming language Python. It works on Weston and Wayland display protocol. It is a super simple app, but good enough as a proof of concept how to use PyQt 6.
One more thing, according to the settings that I have at local.conf, when building the image, I've allowed logging in as root user without a password. However, Weston, the reference compositor of the Wayland display protocol, runs as a separate user, which is called Weston. So the terminal and the commands that I'm executing here are on the behalf of the Weston user. The PyQt 6 application will be also running on the behalf of this user.
At the end of the video, we can summarize that PyQt 6 is one of the two popular Python 3 language bindings for using the Qt framework version 6. It's available as part of the meta-Qt 6 layer. All demonstrations in this video were done with the Yocto long-term support release ScarpGAF and branch 6.8 of the meta-Qt 6 layer.
Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope now you know how to use PyQt 6 to create graphical user interfaces on a custom embedded Linux distribution built with the Yocto Project and OpenEmbedded using the Qt framework and Python 3. However, PyQt 6 is not the only language binding available for Qt and Python. The other one is called Pi side. I might cover it in another episode. In the meantime, let me know what kind of other topics you would like to see in this course about the Yocto project and OpenEmbedded on Raspberry Pi 5. If you find this information interesting and useful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Stay tuned for new videos. See you soon.